movie notes on the greatest game ever played. 2005 film, 11 on October 2024 viewing. I just finished viewing this today, Friday, 11 October 2024. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Norway and the United States of America. And the description I came up with for this viewing is, it's a biographical film about golfer Francis Ouimet, including him being mentored by a man who made golf clubs and him competing as an amateur in the 2013 U.S. Open Championship. Alright, so U.S. Open Championship, I'm national level. I think U.S. is like United States of America. And so I'm guessing it pulls in talent from around the country, possibly from outside the country. I don't actually know. I'm not that familiar with golf. I thought a cool aspect of this story is, so this is a real person, it's biographical. I thought it was cool that he got someone who made the clubs, right? Back in 1913, they were made of wood. So this man who the Francis guy gets as a mentor, and like, you know, Francis is really young and watches this guy, and he carves the golf clubs by hand. He makes them by hand. Or, well, he makes them by hand, but he carves with a tool, I should specify. My grandpa was a wood carver, and my dad is approaching wood carving, so I should know those differences. And so he makes the clubs, and so he ends up being the consistent mentor of Francis, which I thought was a very cool element. I also thought it was very cool that Francis competed as an amateur. Right? A lot of people make a bunch of money and are pros, professional athletes, and this guy was a bit different. He had a little bit of a different story and a little bit of a different socioeconomic background. And so while I go through, I'm going to extrapolate this kind of, I liked Shia LaBeouf in it. I thought it was a movie style that I liked, in the sense of, I liked the introduction and how kind of the movie was introduced. It reminded me of some of the movies I like from like the 1950s, 1960s. I thought the scenery was beautiful. It did a really great job on like cinematography, I thought. And it's a golf movie from 19 years ago, approximately 19 years ago. And so as I go through my extrapolations of what I saw to my own life, I'm going to have a snack of something a little bit funky. I'm going to do one container, 1/2 ounce, 14 grams, which I guess an ounce is 27 grams, so 14 grams, 1/2 ounce, Smucker's strawberry jam. I'm going to eat it with a little spoon. Okay, so who am I going to mentor when I'm in graduate school, PhD in physics in Italy path? Anybody? Who's going to be my student? Zzz. If thinking of applying to be my student that way, you may need to contact my advisor. In that case, I might recommend some sort of written and or spoken statement for why you want to work with me. Why? So we can make sure you stay true to you. Oh, it's like it's a thicker, it's like some of those fruit leathers, but it's like in jam form. To get a little bit of an, so the last time I was in graduate school, there's like stuff you do. If I've mentored undergrads as a graduate student before, but this, depending on if it happens, when they come in, what the hierarchy is there, and how involved or not that my advisor wants to be. Something that I did, not necessarily in advising my undergrad, or not advising, mentoring the undergrads last time. Something I might think about this time is including reading books. And so I was gonna, so kind of like Planetary Interiors was my own choice, or my own pick. I might do 2 more books. So the next 2 book notes videos will be examples of books I own that I picked to read. Okay. So there we go. If you want to know what you might be reading, but then does the advisor want me to lead a group, like a semester long? Let's read that book. I don't know. So that was one thing I was thinking about. There was also It's good. It tastes like fruit leather, actually. It's not super sweet. It does taste like strawberry, but it's not a strong strawberry flavor. Maybe Sacred Saturday's musing. Sweet treat video. This is for the day. Go on this channel. And a Sacred Saturday summary, including computer game choice, go on my second channel. Another way of differentiating from my institution, to make it clear that it's my channel. Sacred Saturdays are about me being like, I'm nerdy. Is that nerding out? No, it's just me, being like, I'm getting my 10 hours of computer games if I can. And I'm not getting paid for that. That's my own free time. So differentiating from my institution. Though I do, why would it go on that channel? I'll get to that. Perhaps, or do I? Was I thinking about that tomorrow? Maybe I write a code, a CC++ something. Did I write that down for tomorrow? People are like, don't say anything. Fine. I can wait for one of those book notes videos tomorrow. Or no, one tomorrow, one Sunday. We're doing this slowly. All right. The last Nobel Prize, which isn't technically a Nobel Prize, but is awarded with the Nobel Prizes, is Monday. It goes by a different name. It started later. Anyway, okay, so C/C++ tie-in potentially tomorrow, tentatively tomorrow. So let's keep working. Perhaps Cristiano does it with me. Sacred Saturdays, only with video games. Maybe we go to pick out video games and computer games in store together. That part could be a different day of the week. Preparation for Sacred Saturdays. Maybe every once in a while he gives me his credit card, and when we go together and he gives me his credit card and I get to pick whatever video games I want for him. Ooh, I'm getting deadly. Maybe we do a like twins where he or we pick out a video game for him and a corresponding / analogous computer game for me. Ooh. I'm sitting, at a little desk or a little table or something, and he's like, and I'm facing the TV and he's playing on the TV and we're both looking that way. Scar Baby's in a little blue, bed, sleeping on the table. Like, I got the best parents. Okay. It's a glass table and she jumps up and just curls up and is like, is there, what's it gonna be? Mystery? FIFA? Do they have FIFA computer games? I don't know. Anyway, one restriction for my second YouTube channel: keep humans other than myself at less than 1/3 of videos for a given week. For example, 6 videos would be the cap for a week with 20 videos. Do I make a special on that second channel? And do I make a special on preparing my first lecture? Is it named Who is Baby Mussolini? Is the content an abstracted list of descriptions / criteria to make it open to whoever those check marks may be? Or to make it open to anyone with those check marks? Is that in the spirit of US Open? The spirit of a US Open is tying back into golf. Is that the spirit of a US Open? Making it open to anyone? All right, and this guy who was working at a store, he gets asked by the president of the US Golf Association, will you come compete in this US Open Championship? And so part of that is being like, don't think, like, the spirit of the thing is it's truly open to anyone. Not, you have to have recent competition experience or you have to be active. No, this guy, he moved on with his life and they were like, we want you, we're coming back for you. So that's kind of what the spirit of this is like, okay, if we do something, how do we open it up to others? Like, they could, like, does Cristiano film it? Like, when we go in for those shopping sprees and he, like, puts it on his channel and he goes like, here it is, open, baby. You guys can get these video games too. This is what she bought for me. She picked out for me this time. Look at her. I get to spend hundreds of hours playing FIFA. Or solving mysteries. Do they have that in video form? I don't know. Anyway, do they have FIFA video games? Okay. Anyway, those are my movie notes for the greatest game ever played. 2005 film, 11 October 2024 viewing.